Hello everyone, Glieken here, bringing you a Hour of Devastation draft. Already we get to see that this is going to be another fun saga of what is the art. Hour of Devastation released today on Magic Online, and this is actually my first draft of the format. I've only done the pre-release events for it. I don't believe this is a good rare to look at. Let's take a quick look at our uncommons. Which one's this one? That's the Flame Tongue combo. So here, looking at what I think these cards are with lack of art to really guide me. The strongest card, this is not what I think it is. So the strongest cards, I'm pretty sure, are solidly between the Flame Tongue Kavu, Sand Strangler, which is 4 mana 3/3, and it'll deal 3 damage to target creature if you control a desert, as well as Lethal Sting, which destroys a creature, but you have to put a -1 as a counter card. I'm gonna take the Sand Strangler to start off to see how that works for us. Here, this pack has one of my least favorite cards in the format in terms of its existence. This is not what Endless Sands is. We're just taking a quick look at what all these cards do because I want to be able to pick a card before time comes. So we are going to be looking to take deserts a little bit higher than normal. So like any of the red cycling deserts we'll want to pick up. There's nothing truly over the top. This is the 5 mana 5/3 or 4/3. Nothing truly over the top here other than Imaginary Threats, which is one of my least favorite cards in the format. Between Imaginary Threats, Overcome, and the Lava Axe with cycling. I feel that those 3 cards are cards that are the most, if you can just cast them and win the game on the spot, even in situations where you might not be able to. So we're going to take Imaginary Threats as the most swingy card and potentially powerful card in this pack. Here, not too many cards that we're interested in. I do like the counterspell a little bit more than most. I'm also interested in the Hope Tender as the ramp card. Traveler's Amulet is okay. Nothing in this pack is true. I don't know about this card, the Manticore. 5 mana 5/4, has to attack each turn as able, and has a Afflict 3. Seems okay. It's also on color with our Sand Strangler, and I think I like staying on color a little bit more than taking the Hope Tender here, which is what I would be looking at. I do also like the Countervailing Winds, but I feel like we'll be able to pick those up a little bit later. And here we have a blue-red uncommon, which can actually which actually allows us to cycle our Imaginary Threats and buy it back. Leech Chance is not what we're looking for. Farm to Market is decent. You definitely want to be white to play farm, and you don't necessarily have to be blue to play market. So don't look at that card and think that you have to be white blue to play it. Just take it as farm. The Riverwinder is also very strong. We got Manlith in this pack. I think I'm gonna take this Bloodwater Entity. And it buys back the instant or sorcery. And maybe see if we can get a spells deck going. It's between the Bloodwater Entity and the Riverwinder here. Because 5/5 Hexproof is actually quite powerful. Nothing else is immediately popping out to me. Look at all this lovely art. This art is great. So here we have, again, the Striped Riverwinder. We also have the Ifnu Rivulet. It's the Mill Desert, and while we're not really looking at to go for a mill plane or anything, we do want to keep an eye out on deserts for our Sand Strangler. I also like the Sinuous Striker as a decent eternalized card, as well as again the Striped Riverwinder. It's nice to see all of these blue cards coming through because it means that at least one of our colors is probably going to be. Oh, why did it take Leaf to Chance? I did not click on Leaf to Chance. And I'm going to look at. This is not the card I took. This is really unfortunate. And again, it took that while I just clicked on that card. Sweet. Perfect. So, this draft is going down the pooper. As it took 2 cards that I did not reserve. Instead of taking cards that I did reserve. So this is super unfortunate. Thank you, Moto. This is the one that I'm now like nervous to talk about my picks because I don't want to like lose time to them. Because I straight double clicked on the. Yeah, I'm even gonna go back and check. I'm gonna take the countervailing winds here. Because if we do end up getting those spells back, or the blue-red multicolor card back, I'll be happy we took it. Here's between countervailing winds and the strategic planning. I actually don't care too much for strategic planning simply because it's a sorcery where countervailing winds can actually do something later on, be it cycle or if we get enough things, then we can even just like be cycling into it. I don't care too much for the Reed Stalker here. So yeah, we're just gonna grab this. That is a very late Sinuous Striker. As well as this card is actually a pretty solid 2-drop as well. We're definitely in the right plan of. I actually think I want the 2-drop just because we wanted to fill our 2-drops up. This card seems very powerful. Yeah, we're gonna take the Striker here. It's definitely between these 2 cards. It's nice that blue seems to be nice and open here. We're going to take the strategic planning over an off-color desert. Here we'll take Desert of the Mindful is actually great for our deck because it gives us a desert for our Sand Strangler. We'll take the Black Desert. Sure. I actually kind of like taking Manolith here. I don't hate Manolith in this format. This desert coming back. Ooh, the Serpent came back around is a lot more important than this desert coming back around, I feel. The Serpent, I definitely don't think it should be second to last pick. I think this is one of the more powerful commons in the set because 5/5 Hexproof is just really hard to deal with, and then the fact that it just has the cycling early is really powerful. So, in retrospect, this should be the blue-red uncommon, and this should be, I think it was another one of the Serpents, or another Sinuous Striker. I think I was going to end up taking the Serpent there. No, I was going to take the Sinuous Striker. I clicked on the Striker, and then this card appeared in the thing. Here we're just going to take the Fuller Island, because I don't care for a 3-mana 3/1 with minimal upside. I'm really gonna look back at the video because if I accidentally double clicked on Leave to Chance instead of the thing, then that's a huge misnomer on my part. Here we got a couple of deserts, which we'll see one of them. We really want to pick up this one because while the cycling is nice on this one, having the option of games grinding out and being able to have that little push of the mill 4 is actually pretty strong. I'm going to try out this Obstructionist. It gives us something to hold up as well as our counter spells in case they like try and do a thing. And then this is the ideal counter spell card because it's either you're holding up a counter for an ability or activate or triggered ability, which in this format is like Eternalize or Embalm. Or if they don't do anything, then it's a 3-mana 3/1 flyer that you can still cast on their turn, which can also end up being a removal spell if they like attack in with a guy. And here's Inferno Jet. We're gonna pick that up. This is one of my least favorite cards in the format, as well as Imaginary Threats. Not necessarily great in our deck, because we're not trying to like beat down, but if we pick up a couple of 2/1 prowesses, then we're pretty happy with it. This is actually the art for Gilded Celadon, which was one of the best arts. This is the Inferno Jet art. Sea Stalker, Unquenchable Thirst is pretty good, especially if we pick up a couple extra deserts. And strategic planning. It's not what we're looking for. We're just going to take the Inferno Jet here. This is the thing that lets us search for an Embalm. Cycle of discard a card, gets buffed. Draw 2 cards, discard. And mill. I think we're just going to take this card, hopefully pick up another Embalm or Eternalized card. I currently have the Sinuous Striker, and I believe that is it. But even still, this card can be solid if it can just get any value at all. Otherwise, we'd be looking at Manolith or Tragic Lessons here. And Tragic Lessons is not that exciting of a card. We'll probably get it on the wheel. Nothing of interest for us here. For anyone, but like Sandblast is, I guess, the best card in the pack. This card gets a little bit better if we're playing both of these Cultivator of Winds, or Cultivating Winds. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, I guess we just want this 2-drop, and we do have kind of a spells theme going on that this might actually be able to get a couple damage in. So yeah, we'll just take this 2-drop here. Your last tomorrow we don't really want. Player torment each turn. We just want this 2-mana 2/2. I don't think we do. I think we'd even just rather just be taking this desert. Take this desert with a chance to like activate it off of like a Manolith or something, or take one of these deserts to be able to cycle them. I think we'd rather have the chance to put 2 Rise from Monster counters on a creature. Here we're probably just taking this. Oh no, we're taking another Riverwinder. I think this card's just really powerful. Would not mind another 2-drop. Not necessarily this 2-drop. We kind of want the 2/1 prowess to flip to. I guess we'll take another Riverwinder. Sister Worm is, I think, one of the more powerful cards in the format, but too late for us to be necessarily looking at green at this point. This card's not awful. This is actually a pretty decent cycler card, but not as good as this one. If this were a desert, we'd snap it up, especially if we want to like splash the If Near Deadlands. I guess we can still take it with the idea of playing the Deadlands and having this like weird. Well, then I guess we want Traveler's Amulet instead. Traveler's Amulet also just gets a card in our graveyard for our countervailing winds if we want to. And I still don't care too much for the Reed Stalker. Then we're going to take Traveler's Amulet here. Here's that 2-drop we were looking at, as well as the desert that we actually want for our deck, which we do just kind of want to make sure that we get a couple deserts going for this, but I think just having this 2-drop is a little bit more powerful. This is actually really close. I'm going to take the desert. Take a strategic planning here over just a 2-mana Grizzly Bear. I'll take the Seer and probably not play it. Take this Wall, especially since we picked up a couple of deserts. Alright, not exciting. Definitely wish 2 of our cards were not 2 of our cards, but I don't think like our deck power would be too much different. Like we'd have the 2-drop and the multicolor card, which the multicolor card with imaginary threats is pretty strong. And I think actually because of imaginary threats, this desert should actually be the 2-drop. I'll take Heart Piercer Mana Core. That card's pretty solid. And it's in our colors. And we can search it up with the Vizier. It's pretty good. Yep, I'll take that. We definitely want to pick up an Enigma Drake with the strategic plannings, the countervailing winds, imaginary threats, and with a couple of the instants that we can potentially get from this set. Seeing the Drake will be pretty good. However, instead, getting these non-Drake cards. So it's between one of these 2-drops, and it's just whether or not we want the actual 2-drop or we want the Winds of Rebuke. I think we just want the actual 2-drop here. Yep. Blue Cartouche should actually be a pretty decent pickup for us. So we're definitely playing all of these. Probably playing that. Dusk to Dawn. Blue Cartouche. Ooh, or Essence Scatter. We might actually just want the Essence Scatter here. Blue Cartouche is really good with what we have, though. This is really close. I don't think we have enough actual 2-drops to want the Blue Cartouche. We're just going to take the Essence Scatter. We're going to take this Vizier. Jeez, blue is open on this side. We have Vizier, Gale Strike, Cancel. Cancel not as much of a sign, but yeah, I'll take this Vizier. Take another Essence Scatter is pretty solid. Don't hate this Luxa, especially since we have like a Manolith to try and splash it. But just want to stay on color for the most part. I think I want this Painted Bluffs just as another desert, and it can also splash the activation of this desert, which we might play 1 or 2 of. Other option would just be taking Compelling Argument, which is not as exciting. I wish this were actually cancel. Just gonna take this Winds of Rebuke. Notably, we are still in a format filled with is this non-creature spell? Non-creature spell. We're still in a format that has not as many cartouches, but still has cartouches, and therefore Seer of Insight is actually really good for what we have going. But yeah, we don't have as many cartouches, but there's still going to be cartouches in the format, therefore Winds of Rebuke is still going to be a pretty strong card. Don't think we're going to be playing the Manolith necessarily. Don't think we're... we might play this card. We might be defensive enough for this card. And we might have enough desert synergy that we can whittle them down with it. And we have these guys just to help flow our draws. We'll just take this 2-drop. Don't think we're necessarily playing that 2-drop. We might actually want that 2-drop over like the Pathmaker Initiate. Because they're already looking to cut cards. It's probably this wall. Take the foil. Like, we should be taking this, but we'll just take the foil. I think we have enough at deserts that Sand Strangler could be okay. Might actually play this Compelling Argument. We do have the 1/0 desert. I'm kidding. I mean, we still might play it just as a 1-mana cycler, and it's just also a spell to trigger our things. That one's fine. So just kind of like having 1-mana cyclers with countervailing winds is kind of a thing. And then also just the fact that we'll have the 1-mana cyclers as things to do if our countervailing winds isn't actually doing anything. I do like the idea of splashing a swamp or two for activation of these guys. I guess we need to, like, we have the Manolith. Like a swamp and a painted bluffs for them. Let's take a look at our creatures separately. It's looking like a true deck. Look at how many more spells there are than creatures. Might not want to play 2 strategic planning. Probably don't want to play this compelling argument. The question really comes down to like how many creatures are we looking to activate. I think we're going to take out this wall. We can bring it in against like the aggressive yet not too aggressive decks. I think we could take out this. Where is it? The compelling argument. We're going to take out 2 more cards. Take out the Traveler's Amulet. Traveler's Amulet turns on this card. This deck sucks. It's definitely better with the 3-drop and the 2-drop. So like this is our win condition right here. Are just these cards with Inferno Jet. Yeah, it's just gonna be get one of these cards on that board, then imaginary threats. Seems solid. Guess we'll cut the Winter Rebuke. We can bring it in against like if we see a heavy cartouche deck. Since cartouches aren't gonna be as huge in this format, we can kind of take them out. And if only this were an instant. Holding this up as well as this would be great. We could do 16 lands because we do have all the cycling here as well as strategic plannings and Traveler's Amulet to help kind of ensure that we get our lands. I do think I like just... How many deserts are we playing? Are we playing the Dreadlands? I think the answer is yes. Which means we're going to have 3 dead lands. Oh, double black is just so much. Like, would we rather just play these? I don't think so. And this is just so good if we're able to activate it on something, especially if we're able to like get rid of our painted bluffs for something. Of course, then we're using the painted bluffs to cast it, and it's just an endless cycle of that's not going to work out in Magical Christmas Land. If we play these, I definitely want to play 17 lands. If we don't play these, I can see getting away with just playing like these and 16 lands. We're actually going to play Sunscorched Desert just for... We only have 1 card that cares about Desert, so I think that's actually just not worth it. And then we get to the question of, are we playing Traveler's Amulet for anything other than activating countervailing winds? And I think the answer is No. I do think we played the Pain Bluffs just as a third desert to play. Which means I think we actually get rid of the Traveler's Amulet, plays 17 lands. We have Seeker of Insight as well to help us get there. I like Traveler's Amulet. We have enough cards. Like, Seeker of Insight is actually just another card that works with Traveler's Amulet, as well as the Firebrand, as well as these cards, as well as what was it? There was another thing. It was these 4 cards, and I thought I saw another card. Maybe I'm just making up things. Yeah, we're just gonna try it out. Don't think we're gonna run these deserts. 9, 4. So it's 13, 14, 15, 16. We don't really have red 2. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, this is like 10. So we want it to be. This is just making it 9, 6. That's fine. 9, 6 with the Pain and Bluffs and Traveler's Amulet and Manolith. Sure. Alright, I think this deck is bad. Let's do it.